Hello again. It's me. I'm back. You might have seen me a minute ago. This time I am joined by the beautiful Andy. How are you, my man?
I'm good, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit fragile today. Um,
Is it self-inflicted?
of course, me and me, Shelly, and Shelly's brother, and then a niece popped round yesterday. Had a few bevies. We bought. Do you know when you get the big, massive ice bucket? Put all the beer in the ice bucket, and then all of a sudden they were flying. We had Coronas in
When they
cans,
were empty.
Budweisers, Peroni. So it was like a pick a mix of beer, and in the end, I had to go to Shelly. Have we got any vodka because we run out of beer?
Oh, yes, then the answer is self-inflicted. But they're the best ones when they're impromptu, aren't they? Like they come out of nowhere. Yeah.
And then we watched the boxing as well, which was a good fight.
See, we didn't have the boxing last night, and we were very quiet. But the thing is, I'll be honest. Before we get into the review of the game on Friday, for me to have it in the pub,
it's about 300 quid, isn't it?
290 quid.
Yeah.
For me to show box office boxing in the pub, but the problem is when we do that. We have to get back on top of what we'd average on a normal Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whenever we pay out these bigger expenses, we have to get 4 times back. So for me to justify having the boxing, I'd have to take 1,200 quid extra on top of my average, say £1,800. So I'd have to take £3,000 on the night of a boxing. So did I. It was very difficult for work yesterday morning. I'm not going to lie. Getting up and cleaning at 7 o'clock in the morning wasn't the best thing I ever did. Good afternoon, my man. Thank you for joining us. Mark, you as well, sir. So we're here to discuss, obviously, it's quite impromptu, this one, Andy, as well, isn't it? We're here to discuss the shenanigans that were the Friday night game at Kenilworth Road. I'll start where we always start, Andy. Lineups. You saw the lineup come out. How did you feel about it?
I felt positive, mate. Like, you can't change a winning formula unless you have to, and unfortunately, Souček picked up that concussion. But it's just a good dilemma to have, the fact that nothing else changed.
Yeah.
I love the attitude. Like, we said it before. I know me and you said like 3 or 4 nils or something on the preview, and that's what you sort of expect. But I was shocked. Like, it's their first game at home, and to be fair to Luton, they done a good game, and I thought they done well again on what's it called, against Chelsea the week before. And bear in mind, this is their third game, so yeah, it's good. I do like a few of the lists. And yeah, we got the job done. So yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah,
But the starting 11, picked itself really.
It did. I mean, I've got to say, I mean, listen, Souček went off against Brighton, didn't he? And Benny came on, and I have to say, I think Benny against Brighton gave us a little bit more of an outlet. So we had it down both sides. I mean, obviously we know he set up Bowen's goal against Brighton. Part of me was like, I really want to see Mohamed Kudus. I did. Like, I wanted him to start, but as you said, there's no point in changing a winning formula for changing its sake. You know, the change for Ben Rama for Souček was a needed one, so it made sense that was who was brought in. Good afternoon, Larry. Thank you for joining us, sticking around from the last video.
I'll be back, mate. I'm lagging. I'm gonna have to go on the hotspot. I'm gonna have to go on the hotspot. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
No, all good.
Cheers, man.
You kicked me out, not you. Get out. Right, there we go. Sorted. You did call the score right, Kent. Although, yeah, their finishing was poor. We'll come to that. I mean, obviously our lineup, as it was, Ariola, Emerson Aguirre, Zuma, Soufal, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Benny, Paqueta, Bowen, and then obviously Mickey up front. I was happy. I thought that was a strong lineup. As I said, I would have liked to have seen Kadu start, but again, you don't want to change your winning formula. And as it sits, we are top of the tree with City and Spurs. So it's not too bad. I mean, I've got to say, was it 20 minutes in? We had something like 78% possession. They had 22, or was it 70, 72 and 28? And I kind of felt like it was a lot of huffing and puffing, a lot of blowing, a lot of not knocking the house down, if you know what I mean. We had a lot of the ball. We're not used to that. And I just felt we kind of not struggled mentally, but I think I don't know, we didn't know what to do. We couldn't hit them on the counter attack in the way that we normally do. So I just felt we struggled a little bit. Let's get on to the goal. Bowen's header. What I will say is, you know when you sing songs about a player or a player's family, you know it's going to come back and bite you in the arse. I think that was the case for Luton. Derogatory songs about Miss Dyer, and it was good to see when he scored. He gave him the shush. It would have been easier for him to react in a different way. It can't have been easy hearing that. I mean, let's be honest. I'm of a generation when I remember certain clubs fans singing about Victoria Beckham and places that she took it. So it's part and parcel, but it's also very much a case of I don't think it's harsh. I don't like it, but it is what it is. But he responded well. Really good goal at the back post. I think the keeper should have done better. I think the keeper needed to react better to the goal. Kind of hits him and goes in. But a great ball into the box. I think he jumped well. We're 1-0 up. And was that? It was a strange one because it was 8 minutes before half time. It was with the run of play. We were on top, if you will. But as Kent said earlier, if they could have finished Luton, the whole scoreline would have been a different story. We could have found ourselves 2-3, 4-1 down at some point. So you ready to come back in, my man? Yeah, no, yeah. Well, I'm going to add you anyway and see what we get on. Can you hear me, my man? No, he's gone again. I'm going to be doing this one for a bit. Then we get the second goal. And again, it's another corner. Zuma's up. Goal. I love Zuma's celebration. The West Ham fans were down that end of the ground behind that goal. Yet he decides to run past runs past the Luton fans, giving a little bit of, the old arms up and whatnot. So it was quite enjoyable to see that he kind of had his teammates back with that one. Again, some silly comments I've seen or silly stuff that I've seen on social media that there was fans on TikTok that were when Zuma was warming up shouting if it was a cat he'd kick it better and all the rest of it. So that silly shit's still around, yet you've still got the same fans saying that they'd like to see Mason Greenwood given a second chance, but we can't give Zuma the same thing. Luton get one back with 92 minutes on the clock. I think it was a poor goal to give away, personally. I think I blame Zuma on the night for not being close enough to the player. And we go on to hold on, really, in the end. I mean, like I say, as Ken says, we win 2-1, but if they could finish their dinner, they had enough chances. It could have been a different story. Larry, I think I've already said hello to you. Mark, I think Souček will be back in for City and for Liverpool. He'll be replaced, and then it will be, hopefully Souček will then be replaced by Benny or Kudus. Sharky says that he thinks Souček will come straight back in as well. He has played well so far this season. I'll get to that in a bit. Albie, good evening, sir. I've received your text. Thank you for your text message, mate. What I will say is Forged hasn't ended. We're going to carry on. Both channels are going to continue. Then you got Wolf. Wolf says, I've always loved you guys teaching us the history of the club, but previews, watch-alongs and transfer news get you more views and subscribers. They do. And we're going to be doing it all. We're going to be doing the history, but we are going to be doing previews. We're going to do season reviews, myself and Andy, aren't we, Andy? We're going to get Hammer Time back.
Yeah.
And we'll talk you through some well, where we're at right now, I think we're at 2000, Andy, aren't we?
No, Glen Roder's first season, so
that's
2001, 2002.
Oh yeah, 2001, 2002, which is a really upsetting timing for the club, to be honest with you. And not going to be fun reviews, but we got to do them anyway.
Yeah.
And Wolf's other comment is people obsess too much with the cat story. He made a stupid mistake. It wasn't people have too much hatred. I completely agree with you, my man. I really do. I think that should be done and dusted and really put to bed now. Go back to the game, Andy. Obviously, I've gone through the goals from where I stood on it. Talk me through your thoughts on the game as a whole. You know, individual, what you saw, what you can remember, because I know, like me, you had a couple of drinks.
It just proves that we're a good side. This reminds me of I think a lot of people have said it reminds me of the Man City Sheffield United game last Sunday. Everyone thought it would be like 5 or 6-0, and then obviously Sheffield United got the goal, and then Man City had to get it late. Good sides win these battles, and I'm glad we want a banana skin like it was when we played Nottingham Forest, as I mentioned in the preview. The game itself, I love the look of Alvarez. I think that's a steal. He's unreal, and if that went in, that would have been. Do you remember that block shot? What they done? That was a good block on the edge of the area when he just stripped that with so much power, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, I'm buzzing, man.
Solid player, mate. Completely agree with you. Would you say that we look more again? I don't want to keep coming back to the guy, number 41. But do you think we look more balanced now with Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, and/or Souček in there? Do you think we look more, I don't know, balanced? There seems to be a better outlook of the sides. You've got Alvarez, who now sits and goes. He does his best Gandalf impression, I feel, from Lord of the Rings, when he literally stands there, "You shall not pay," and he does that. He's literally in the way. You ain't coming through me. Like, I dare you. Come on, what you got? And I said it before, his head's always on a swivel. He's always looking. He's always trying to pick out where, the danger's going to be coming from. He steps into kind of the passing lanes. He cuts off. He marks space really well. And I know that sounds fucking a ridiculous statement, but it stops them from making the passes that would undo us, because he's so intelligent in that sense.
Yeah.
You think Ward-Prowse that can get us from front to back, or back to front even, very, very quickly with a fantastic passing range that he's got. I think, once we add Kudus to the situation and we kind of go a 4-3-2-1 with Paqueta, Ward-Prowse, Alvarez in the middle, Kudus probably left, Bowen, Wright, Antonio up top. I'm scared as to the range of passing with Ward-Prowse, to the pace of the two wide players plus Antonio. I think the outlook's good. But, you know, what we were saying during the game with Alvarez, obviously Kudus only got 5 minutes. And to be honest with you, I can't say too much about it because I didn't see him do much in that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. It's 5 minutes. It's not like he's had half hour and done fuck all. He's had 5 minutes and it's, you know, we're up against it because they've got, you know, they're back in it kind of thing and they're knocking on the door. When with Souček fit, all right, like we've said, get the Man City and the Liverpool games out of the way. We then face Sheffield United and Newcastle, I believe.
Yeah.
Do the two boys, the Souček and Alvarez then play instead of Ben Rama in that role? Does Souček come back in and replace Ben Rama in them 2 games for you?
No,
or
not now.
We played now.
Yeah, not after we got the result as well. It's harsh on Souček. It is, but I think Moyes has seen it how much. I know you could say the opposition. We kept the ball a lot better. We got that more balanced. And Alvarez, if you think about it, Alvarez replacing Souček, they're both Alvarez is like 6'2", so it's not like we're swapping them 2 over. So it's not like we've lost height when defending our boxes or anything either. So, and a big shout out as well, flipping Paqueta. How many headers did he win as well on Friday? He's got a massive leap on him, especially just clearing that. It was the same again against Brighton. So, no, the balance is not an issue. And I think Souček's a good player to have. Say, for example, Man City, 15 minutes to go, man, what you bring. If it is well, if you want to close up shop, he's a good player. Sorry.
Agree. No, so I got the gist of what you were saying. Souček's the one that you can, you bring on. He's a good player to have, off the bench and like you say, to shut up shop, take off, take off Antonio and bring him on. You've then got Kudus and Bowen that can run the lines. I quite like, I'll come here. Sharky says the 2002-2003 season, are we doing that one? It was an awful campaign. Larry's agreeing with me that we look more balanced. Mark wants to know, now the window's shut, if you can hear me, Andy, because you've frozen. He wants to know what the plan B would be when Antonio's absent. What's your thoughts on that?
It'll be good. That's what I think it will be. The fact that I said that we may loan Mabam, obviously we can't now. He doesn't rate what we.
You're really breaking up, mate.
I'll have to come back again. I don't know what's going on. 1 sec, man. Sorry.
Go on, no, you're all right, mate. Mark, I'll cover it. I think you've got Mabama there. Andy said there he can't go out on loan. I think he can. I think loaning out to the Championship, I think we can still do. I don't agree with that. I think we need to keep Mabama. I think he needs to get game time. I'd like to see him being the one coming off the bench for Antonio rather than Ings. I'd rather see Mabama get the game time ahead of the likes of Kudus coming on or Ben Rama coming on for Antonio. I'd rather see it being, Mabama. I think Mabama has all the strengths that Antonio's got, but he's also younger, so he can run a lot more. Andy, Wolf wants to know what DVDs are behind you on the wall, mate.
Mate, I think I've got. This is Shelley's spare room. I've got about another 800 in the room in the shelf in front of me as well. So, it's like blockbusters.
Hey, listen, I had 1 million shares in Blockbuster just after they got passed. Someone gave it, yeah.
So try and answer my question. If anyone didn't say, it'll be either Caduce or Bowen if you couldn't make it out.
Yeah, no. You said Caduce. You said that Mubama can't go out on loan. He can because there's a loan window until I think the end of October, where lower league sides can loan players from a Premier League club.
Oh, can they? No, but what I mean is the fact that Moyes said he may be available for a loan means he's down the pecking order more than what I expected it to be.
Yeah, I'm quite disappointed in that because I would have rather have seen him. I would have rather have seen him play. Hello, Sam. I'm guessing Diebold, you're here. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Sharky says you sounded like a robot. I actually, when that was a smaller emoji at the side of the screen, it actually looked like a cupcake. Whatever's going on between you and Sharky, if he could, if that's your little code word for each other, I don't want to know.
Well, it wouldn't be Baby Shark, would it? Okay.
Oh, look. Wolf says, Moyes said Alvarez and Prowse played so well that they wouldn't make sense to drop them against City. No, I don't think he'd drop either of them, but I think he'd probably drop Benny, bring Souček in there, and then have Paqueta float from left and centre and do what he wants. I mean, that's what it, that's I saw something on when I was watching the highlights, I think yesterday morning on Sky. They do like the half-hour thing, and they were referring to Paqueta doing that against Brighton before Souček went off. That it was Souček, Alvarez, and Ward-Prowse more central, and Paqueta was drifting in off of the left to play more central, and Bowen was doing the same the other side. So we kind of had three deeper players with Paqueta, drifting in and out, and same with Bowen. I think we looked better once Souček went off in that game against Brighton, which again you saw a little bit more of against Luton. I will say again, I got really frustrated with Benny, Andy. I know people think I have a history of hating and being a bit harsh on Benny, but again, his his footballing intelligence, his knowledge of when to recycle the ball, when to run at a player, when to stop, retreat, and go again, knowing when to shoot, knowing when to not waste that opportunity. It was evident again against Luton on Friday, and I don't know, with Caduce coming in, whether Moyes is going to see it. I mean, listen, we know that he preferred Fornals out there for a while when you had Cresswell playing, and he dropped Fornals, and it busted the man's confidence quite a lot. We know that, we saw it. Do you think that he's going to see it? And Caduce, although Caduce has played more right and central roles, he has and can play left. Do you see him replacing Benny out there in the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I think he'll try it. I think we'll turn into trying to think what it's probably like Liverpool, the old Liverpool front three of Salah, Mane, and Firmino. They used to swap quite a bit, and I think that could play into our hands as well. The fact that Caduce, Antonio, and Bowen could switch it up, and if you, for example, Antonio drops to the left and then play Caduce through the middle, that would be very terrifying and frustrating for the defenders knowing who to pick it up. And that could, and Paqueta, as you know, picked a ball out of the sixpence. No one else would have been able to pick that pass out for Bowen's first goal. So, yeah, I think that definitely play into our hands. And it wouldn't be too bad. Do you know where I could see Fornells going potentially? And maybe try it in Europe. Maybe you may laugh at this because he sort of played it on the left. Maybe Fornells as a right wing back instead of Soufal. So you put Emerson as left wing back, and then play a back three when you got. Do you know what I mean? It's just an idea.
But he's got the energy, Andy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He get up and down. He shows the desire. You know what? He is right-footed as well, so it's not. I'll tell you what, it's not against the realms, and we know what Moyes does. He loves to dick around with the positions that players play, and so it wouldn't surprise me. Going back to what
Emerson's great going forward. I love Emerson to bits. Right,
a little bit defensively, a little bit, not a lot, not as much as having Ben Johnson out there or having Arthur Masuaku out there. You know,
leave Masuaku alone. He's my mate.
I know you loved him, King Arthur. Oh, well. Anyway. I remember that Friday night. That was painful. Before we wrap it up then and call it a day, because we've been going nearly half hour, we're only going to do this 15 minutes. It's always fun. We'll cover it more in depth probably tomorrow night. I know we won't have Steve tomorrow night because he's still sunning himself on the beaches of Turkey. God love him. Steve, if you're watching, get back to your holiday. Don't watch us talking rubbish. You're all right. You can save that for a plane journey home. On a scale of 1 to 10, mate, I know we didn't do nothing on Friday, which was quite disappointing because I was looking forward to doing a couple of videos of signings. A scale of 1 to 10, our transfer window.
7. 7 for me. If we got a striker, it would have been a 9. But I'm going to give it a 7.
I will actually. I tell you what. I'll actually go. I'll go one better than you, and I'll go an 8. And I agree with you that if we get a striker, it's a 10 for me. It started very slowly. I'm very aware that we had to hold off. We had to bide our time because of the whole 41 selling him and getting him gone. Go on. I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I think Wolves are going down anyway. I think it started slowly. We got 41 sold, and then it was just like bang, 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 bang. Everyone, myself included, I'm not gonna say I wasn't, pissed off that we missed out on Carlos Borges. I looked up a lot of stuff on Borges and was very, very excited about signing him. So at the time, I was like, what have we done? Honestly, we fucked it. But the fact that, okay, long term, we let them have Borges and we go get Kudus.
It's a no-brainer.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Kudus took it from a bang average. For me, it was a bang average transfer window. Mavropanos, Ward-Prowse, don't get me wrong, Ward-Prowse and Alvarez were cracking signings, but that only really filled up the gap that was left. We needed those two players coming in. Then you have Mavropanos, and then you add to that Kudus. And I just think, you know what? I'm glad we missed out on Maguire. I am. I'm not going to lie. I think Mavropanos is the better option. I know you wanted Jonathan Tah, but I'm happy with Mavropanos. I am. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a good signing. We still have the oldest average age, I think, in the Premiership. I think it's only a year. 28 is our average age. Kudus has only just turned 23. Ward-Prowse is 28, I think.
Yeah, it's 29. Oh, it's the other way. Yeah, it's 29 in October, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. Then you've got Alvarez, who's 25.
Yeah.
Memory serves. Mavropanos, 25. So the 4 players we bought in, all under the age of 28, which goes against something that West Ham have been doing for years, Andy. You know, bringing in journeymen. You know, I'm confident.
I would up. Yeah, I'd up the window to 8 if we get Lingard. If we get Lingard, it will be an 8 for me.
Yeah, mine will go to a 9. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think, listen, I'll tell you what, let's save that for tomorrow. I want to talk about that. I do want to talk about Lingard, but we'll do that tomorrow because, again, I'm very aware we go off topic and we'll be here until about 6:30. Anyway, we're going to cut it short there, guys. Join us tomorrow if you want to find out our thoughts on Lingard. Obviously, he's a free agent, so there's no time frame on when we can get him. There are quite a few others, Andy, on the free agent market that pique my interest.
Well, we'll discuss that. We'll get everyone else involved in the chat, and we'll do like the yes or no twats votes tomorrow. Yeah, on Twitter, I meant on X, to get them involved as well. We'll do that, and we'll get them throughout the day.
I thought you were talking about Elon Musk. Libel.
He is a twat anyway, but yeah.
Allegedly. Those of you watching, 7 of you in there, jump on whatever platform you're watching us on, be it Forge from Iron, West Ham United, Forge from Iron Extra Time. Hit that like button. Share the videos out there. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to either one, please. And keep your eye out for further content across both channels. As we've already said, we're going live with the Monday night headquarters show over on the Extra Time channel. And then we'll be looking at some other bits and pieces for the main channel over the course of the week as well. Andy, thank you for joining me. You're
welcome.
Pleasure. And I will see you tomorrow night. Some of you guys out there in YouTube land, thank you very much. And come on, you rip-roaring motherfucking Irons.
Thank you, Zuma.